Irish guy, and there are no two words more frustrating in the English language than Paul Pogba. But honestly, every time Manchester United fans catch a glimpse of this man's face, they must be close to shoving a screwdriver up their nose. 10 years ago, a full decade of life in the past, Manchester United were losing a 19-year-old Paul Pogba to Juventus on a free transfer. I mean, make no mistake about it, if Sir Alex Ferguson had still been the Man United manager, he would have sooner chewed the head off a wet dog in Glasgow than ever re-signed Pogba for the club. Because this is what he said in 2012.
Manager Sir Alex Ferguson told MUTV, Pogba signed for Juventus a long time ago as far as we're aware, which is disappointing. I don't think he showed us any respect at all, so to be honest, I'm quite happy.
Pogba showing Manchester United no respect at all. And it's a decade later, and the same thing is happening again. Every time Pogba moves clubs, it's a massive headache. I mean, Christ, back in 2009...
Manchester United paid Paul Pogba's parents, Le Havre president alleges.
Yeah, even when he was 16, apparently the club gave Mr. and Mrs. Pogba £87,000 each. Oh yeah, and a brand new house. Honestly, the absolute stink that Le Havre kicked up. You'd swear Manchester United just lured a small French child into the back of their ice cream minivan. Oh yeah, you wanted a fruit pastil lolly? Now instead, let me show you a photo of that warp on my sack. Honestly, the way Le Havre went on, you'd assume Fergie had begged them to let him watch Pogba take a poo in the shower. You know, as if this was a modern day remake of Psycho. Honestly, Le Havre is a small French football factory that produces football talent, yes, but clearly they also raise a school of brats. Because I'm sorry, here's just a few of the football prima donnas they've raised. Lassana Diarra, someone who had patiently quit Arsenal 5 months into a 6-year contract, walking out on them for Portsmouth. I mean, there was also Riyad Mahrez, a man who went on strike at Leicester City, isn't that right, Rebecca? Who else? Pascal Chimbonda, who played an entire game for Wigan with a transfer request stuffed on his sock. Who else? Dimitri Payet, another striking sulk at West Ham. Oh yeah, and Benjamin Mendy. Clearly taking young footballers from Le Havre is like adopting those kids off Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, or agreeing to foster a troubled teen from Slytherin. No thanks. So we cannot be surprised that Pogba has turned out to be football's answer to Mighty Cyrus. He is, and always has been, a problem child. He's a man swimming with world-class talents and ability, but clearly he has the hunger and drive of Malcolm in the Middle, someone whose career disappeared in 2004. But where should he go this summer? That's the question in the media right now. I mean, after 6 incredibly disappointing seasons at Old Trafford, this man is once again a free agent flirting with every European super club on the planet. In this video, I'm going to break down where he should go and where he should not. Right, first off, the obvious one. The favourites right now are Juventus again. Now, I know why this is appealing to him. Good grace, Turin was the place where Pogba made his name, playing some utterly world-class football for a team who dominated Italian sport. Honestly, this was some lanky string bean who couldn't get into a Man United midfield past Tom Cleverley, so suddenly being tossed into the midfield with Andrea Pirlo and Arturo Vidal. But honestly, that was such a weird transfer window. Juventus signed 15 players in 2012, including a washed-up Brazilian centre-back legend like Lucio, rescuing an over-the-hill pensioner in Nicolas Anelka from China. Oh yeah, and replacing Alessandro Del Piero with Nicholas Bentner on loan. I mean, clearly Antonio Conte spent that summer drinking infected goat milk out of his shoe. Honestly, maybe he did believe the world would end in 2012, because honestly, he was acting mad. But, so a return to Juventus is a marketing dream. I mean, he's reunited with Max Allegri, the same boss who took him to his only Champions League final, and I can already see it now. Pog back. And it makes sense, because this club loves a free transfer. I mean, honestly, if this happens, then in 12 years, this club would have signed Fabio Cannavaro, Luca Toni, Andrea Pirlo, Nicolas Anelka, Fernando Llorente, Kingsley Coman, Sami Khedira, Dani Alves, Emre Can, Aaron Ramsey, Adrien Rabiot, Gianluigi Buffon, and Paul Pogba twice. Honestly, in that list of freebie misfits, we're 6 World Cup winners. That is mental. But don't do it. Christ, do not ruin your Juventus legacy, chucking your relationship with those fans into a wheelbarrow filled with pig diarrhea. Just don't do it, Paul. It would be a disaster. I mean, maybe ask Cristiano Ronaldo what sort of state Juventus are in right now, because you would be returning to Juventus team who just finished 4th 2 seasons in a row. What sort of glory are you expecting to achieve for a team who haven't won a Champions League knockout match in 4 years? Since 2019, they've been dumped out of the Champions League by Ajax, Lyon, Porto and Villarreal. They are still European chokers. This is not the steely Juve team of old. I mean, 3 days ago, they just conceded 4 goals in a Coppa Italia final. Dusan Vlahovic was supposed to be the Ronaldo replacement. So far, he's waddling about like a pissed up Kermit the Frog. It's not good. If Pogba wants to get his reputation back on track, this man needs to move to a club and win. Don't won't be part of the problem spending 4 years languishing in the league behind Napoli, Lazio and Roma, getting embarrassed in the Champions League by Benfica and Tottenham. No, a return to Juventus would be a nightmare. PSG are also big favourites, but this is the worst choice he could make. Pogba is a man who needs to find a manager who can help him shake off his Instagram playboy tag. But no, PSG are the club who let their players indulge in that. Good grace, Paris Saint-Germain is the epitome of the comfortable club. I mean, like Neymar, he's living his life, turning up to training late, drinking champagne at parties with Rihanna. I mean, this man is an untouchable celebrity at the club. I mean, honestly, he could probably punch a fan in the teeth. I mean, he could be caught drinking vodka in the toilets at half-time of a cup game with Lons, and nobody at PSG would dare say a word. PSG is not the club you join when you need to focus on your game. This is just the status club and the epitome of instability. I mean, good grace, Mauricio Pochettino has clearly never been forgiven for bottling a title race against Lille, and honestly, he's just one dodgy sneeze away from getting turfed out the window. I mean, Gini Ronaldo was supposed to kick on to PSG and establish himself as one of the world's best. Instead, he's been an underwhelming chicken nugget, mostly rotting on the bench. I mean, obviously, Real Madrid have been sniffing around Pogba for years. I mean, in 2019, they were offering Man United 29 million plus James Rodriguez. I mean, at the time, I thought Man United should accept that deal, but considering James is now a washed-up Everton reject, currently rotting on a beach in Qatar, and clearly shrouded by bitterness to the point where he's admitted he's hoping his former club lose the Champions League final, then yeah, Man United signing him would have been like kissing a grandmother with chicken pox. Just no bad idea. But Pogba is probably salivating over the possibility of being unveiled at the Bernabeu, but to me, he doesn't deserve this. I'm sorry, but when Real Madrid sign a Manchester United player, it's always because it's merited. Price up the likes of David Beckham, Cristiano Ronaldo, Ruud van Nistelrooy, even Gabriel Heinz and Chicarito. They utterly worked their nuts off to be a success at Manchester United, all of them lifting multiple Premier League titles. But Pogba, what has he really done to earn a move to Real Madrid? I mean, Sir Alex Ferguson once said that he wouldn't sell Real Madrid a virus. Well, Florentino Perez, listen to your former coach, because Jose Mourinho has called Pogba a virus. This is not a personality you want to infiltrate a winning dressing room. Real Madrid are everything Pogba is not. This is a culture of winning, a team of warriors. And I'm sorry, but I'm gonna say this. If Eduardo Camavinga winds up having the same career as Paul Pogba, then he will have failed. Which is mental to say about an actual World Cup winner. I mean, honestly, Camavinga was snap your hand off for an appearance in a World Cup final, let alone scoring in one. But there's also a raw 19-year-old midfield talent emerging into one of the most promising footballers on the planet. The last thing he needs is Pogba distracting him with TikTok. You do not want Camavinga looking up to a man who's especially spent the last 6 years tossing his world-class ability into a toilet bowl. Honestly, Real Madrid should avoid. Apparently Xavi is a big fan of Pogba, having played against him in the Champions League final, and Barcelona want to snap him up, but I'm not sure. If Frankie de Jong moves to Man United and Pogba replaces him, it's just a bit of a weird like for like. And Barcelona, I can't work them out right now. There's a club who already got about 9 expensive forwards on the books and are still plotting a move for Robert Lewandowski, despite the guy having helped his Bayern Munich team beat Barcelona 6-0 in aggregate. I mean, are Barcelona back under Xavi? Or is this just a new manager bounce trying to disguise an aging dressing room who are just trying to kid themselves? Honestly, we all know Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang's bad habits are going to be back next season. Next October, he'll probably have skipped a match to go and take a Playboy bunny out to Las Vegas. And honestly, putting Paul Pogba in the same dressing room as Aubameyang, Xavi, if you do this, you've only yourselves to blame. Having those two in your dressing room would be about as insufferable as sitting next to Gerrard on a plane. Well, I'm gonna say something which would make Jimmy Carragher choke on his lunch. I really do believe that Pogba should sign for Man City. I mean, Carragher is saying that Pogba doesn't work hard enough to play under Pep Guardiola, but lads, Pogba played the best football of his career under Antonio Conte and Max Allegri, two incredibly demanding coaches. He can do it. Carragher is acting like this man has never broken sweat in his life. I'm sorry, it's the same for Neymar. It is physically impossible for a footballer to fool a company into breaking the world transfer record for them if they've never worked hard. Pogba does understand what work rate is. Look at him at Juventus, but it's just consistency that he's lacked. But he does play well for world-class coaches. Christ, well, even in his last full season under Jose Mourinho, he registered 12 assists. That's pretty good for a central midfielder. I am convinced Pep Guardiola will get the best out of PP. I mean, this wouldn't be like when Man City offered a free transfer contract to an old bag of towels like Owen Hargreaves. No, you are pinching a 29-year-old Pogba from Man United. This would be the Carlos Tevez transfer of today. Someone who Pogba played with at Juventus. So honestly, take tips from your former teammate. You know, the welcome to Manchester sign, everything. You've just watched Manchester United fans boo you off the pitch. This will be the perfect way to get back under their skin. Stick this midfielder into a team who dominates possession every week, and suddenly honestly, watch him tick. At midfield 3 of Rodri, Kevin De Bruyne and Pogba. Excuse me while my mouth fills up with my lunch. The first touches in those midfield, sickeningly good. Remember the on-pitch relationship Paul Pogba had with Zlatan Ibrahimovic? Gave him a world-class centre forward like Erling Haaland, and it would be the exact same, but it's just when Lukaku had a touch like a fridge, you couldn't really do much with him. And Man City don't dip into the free transfer market enough. I mean, the last outfield player they signed for free was Aaron Moy from Melbourne. But Pogba, imagine him lifting the Premier League title at the Etihad. It might actually cause the Manchester United fans to bite chunks out of their own tongue. Imagine that, after all the fuss, all the headaches Pogba has caused this club, to eventually then win his first Premier League title while employed by their noisy neighbours. Pogba should do it. I'm convinced Guardiola would transform this man into a midfield monster. Anyway, that's what let me know what do you think. Let me know, where should Pogba go next? If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe. As always, I'll talk to you in a while.